What does revenue marketing really mean?
Revenue marketing is equal to accountability.
And why has it really become very important these days?
As a marketer, you have to be accountable for revenue.
Correct.
You have to be accountable for the pipeline. You have to be accountable for the closure. Revenue brand marketing to me at this point in time is influencing the outcome. I'm influencing the pipeline and we are influencing the win rate. Traditionally, brand marketing always looked at these vanity measures.
Therefore, why is the shift now happening?
Buyers are becoming extremely smart. Today, any revenue marketing campaign is successful because we are doing very focused, customer-centric, problem-oriented campaigns. Modern CMOs should be revenue builders and not influencers. If we are not owning the revenue, you are just influencing, you are not creating an impact.
Hello everyone and welcome to the B2B Marketing Podcast presented by B2B Marketing Association and powered by Brand Story Digital. I'm your host Saikat Das Mohanty. Imagine you are a plant manager and you are going to be signing a very large $1 million of deal or a purchase that you are planning to do, and you have a buying committee, which is consisting of a 10-member people, and it's a 6-month long evaluation process and vendors reaching out to you. So how do you really evaluate them and get to a point at whom to select? What do? You go with the names that you already know. Now what and then finally decide that. So is that a sales problem? Probably not. It's probably a brand problem, and that is something probably industrial B2B today has not been able to crack it and is trying to solve. So in today's episode, we are talking about what it looks like when brand stops being a line item and starts being a revenue engine. My guest today brings a rare perspective. He has built and run brand strategy inside an industrial B2B business where the stakes are real and the buyers are technical and the old rules of marketing don't always apply. Please welcome Giridhar Gorur, Regional Marketing Director, India and Middle East Africa in Industry Division of Grundfos. Welcome to the show, Giri. We're very happy to have you here and want to understand a little more about the industrial B2B marketing, which is a very different side. I've been talking to a lot of people from IT and IT services and all, but this is something that is interesting and would want to hear from you on this.
Yeah, well, first of all, thank you, Saikat. Very, very happy to be here.
Yeah.
Very lucky to be here. I think this is our second outing with B2B marketing. And industrial is a very different animal altogether.
Yeah.
But somewhere industrial marketing is also trying to punch as many weights as possible, similar to tech marketing.
Yeah.
But the tenets are completely very different. I didn't understand it till the time I came in here. I came from tech marketing, and then this is an outing which I've taken consciously. I wanted to understand the industrial marketing space a lot more. It's like the other side of the coin in industrial marketing. Yeah.
Perfect. That's great. So let's. That'll be interesting to have that perspective. My last outing was also with heavy industrial organization. So I understand how it works. It's a little different than tech marketing for sure. So let's hear from you on that. But before we go into that, I was just going through your profile, and there's a very interesting thing that you mentioned. Revenue marketing is equal to accountability.
Yes.
So before we get into, can you just put in a light on that? What do you mean by that?
So, I come from a state where the current CM is known for saying something called as Kuti story, which is a short story.
Yeah.
So, I will relate a small story to that statement, which is there on my bio, which is revenue marketing is equal to accountability.
Yeah.
I started my life in sales.
Yeah.
I think I did my BCom, and one of the easiest job which I could get was in sales. Because the only thing which I had was my mouth. I could talk and I could sell.
Yeah.
And when I got into sales, that's when I understood, sales is not just about pouncing on a customer and then just sell because you are given a target. It is about understanding sentiments, etc. Somewhere trying to do that, the accountability factor became a pretty stressful factor, because you're given a target, you're accountable to sort of close the target and increase the revenue, right? I did not like that process, to be very honest. So I moved from sales to marketing after spending 11 years in sales, and then moved to marketing, which was a very uncharted space, because I always felt I was very creative and I wanted to be on the creative space and not on the hardcore selling where I shove something down the throat of customers. I wanted to mean it when I try to build some stories, right? Now, between 2014 to now, marketing has also gone towards a very different scene altogether.
Correct.
So now I've come back to the accountability zone, which is I'm coming back to sales. I started my life in sales. Now I'm coming back to sales with marketing, with the ammunition called marketing.
Okay.
Now revenue marketing brings in, of course we'll talk a lot about revenue marketing, but what I tried to say over there is, as a marketer, you cannot just say I influence revenue. You have to be accountable for revenue.
Correct.
You have to be accountable for the pipeline. You have to be accountable for the closure, right? That's what I mean by revenue marketing is equal to accountability. And the reason why I say this, and I say this to a lot of marketers, I say this to my team members as well, that if you want an equal seat in the table amongst the CEOs, the CROs and CFOs, you need to be accountable for revenue.
Absolutely.
And gone are those days where they say marketing cannot be accountable for revenue.
Yeah.
So that's what
Perfect.
I mean by revenue marketing.
Very well.
Is equal to accountability.
Okay. Very well put. I think so. From sales to sales with marketing
In between.
between. So I think that's a very nicely put. Okay. So moving on to our discussion for today. Okay, and let's probably start with the basics kind of a thing. Okay, when we have always looked at marketing, especially when we talk about brand marketing and all of that, it's always been about long-term awareness play. Okay, and we always have been doing that, and that's what marketing does also. And somewhere down the line, what has happened is that it has never been connected with revenues. Correct. Or outcomes that are there. The outcomes are very different. Probably it is brand awareness, share of voice, things like that. But when it comes to revenue outcomes, it has never been linked to that. Okay. So, but things have changed rapidly, and that's where revenue marketing comes in. So, as a basic understanding for everyone, what does revenue marketing really mean, and why has it really become very important these days?
See, to me, revenue marketing in a very, very simplistic term, revenue marketing to me, or revenue brand marketing to me at this point in time, is influencing the outcome. And now the outcome is a very, very larger term. Now, when I say influencing the outcome, I'm influencing the pipeline. But to influence the pipeline, I need to influence my ICP in a very, very different way. I need to engage my ICP. That's where the brand plays. But once they get into the pipeline stage, how much I am influencing them to get closer to win rate, right? Now the win rate velocity is what I feel in a simple term revenue brand marketing means. And why I say this is, traditionally brand marketing always looked at these vanity measures of, am I looking good? Is the brand looking successful in front of the audience? How am I different from my competition?
Right.
Is the product that I'm selling worth from a brand point of view? I think that's where the traditional brand marketing differs from revenue brand marketing, because we are cutting through the pipeline space and we are influencing the win rate.
Right.
Yeah, in my opinion, that's a very
that's basically the understand. And therefore, why is the shift now happening? Because if that was the case, and revenue was, and marketing was always looked at, okay, you are just a cost center, which a lot of people say, and it has been there for a very long time. So why now is the question. So what's happening?
Simple. I mean, CFO says, why should I give you this much money?
Yeah.
End of the day, when we sit on budget, we need to say, okay, I need XYZ budget. I need a 1 million or 2 million budget, because I cannot just say I influence this revenue and then sales jumps into the table and says, no boss, I close the revenue. So you're not able to answer a CFO at that point in time very convincingly. Yes, you can of course say that for us to achieve X sales we need X budget, and somewhere marketing is doing that. But I think now it is becoming even more prominent because marketers themselves are tired of this game of I'm influencing revenue. They want to say I close this kind of a revenue, I close X amount of revenue. I think that's why the reason there is a lot of focus on revenue marketing at this point in time. Also the buyers are becoming extremely smart. In today's scenario, buyers know what they want, and they're also reading signals pretty aggressively, actively, and they know whether you're bullshitting as a brand or you are telling the right thing. So the play from a revenue marketing perspective is also shifting towards more of I know you have a problem, you as a customer you have a problem, and I'm going to address that problem. It's not spray and pray. I'm targeting them with the problem statement. So that's the reason why we are seeing a lot of shift towards revenue marketing because it's successful.
Correct.
Today, any revenue marketing campaign is successful because we are not doing any generic campaign. We are doing very focused, customer-centric, problem-oriented campaigns, and which is different from customer to customer, and which is different from buying pattern to customer.
So you therefore trying to say is that revenue marketing is actually helping in reducing the buying friction. Okay, when it comes to the buyers, they have a large committee of people, procurement, plant managers, so many people and all of that are there. And what you are doing right now from a revenue marketing perspective is that not just creating a revenue stream for yourself, but you're also building a brand trust. So are you actually saying that revenue marketing is able to reduce that buying friction that used to be there?
Today, as a revenue marketing engine, like I said before, we know our ICPs quite well. I think we've spent a lot of time, effort and money on identifying this is the ICP which we want to target, and within that ICP there's a lot of sub-classification. Now if I want a purchase manager to buy, let's say we sell pumps, right? If I want my purchase manager to buy pumps, I am not just targeting the problem statement to that purchase manager. I am targeting that problem statement 2 levels above him, 2 levels below him, also on the lateral side, which is to his peers. Let's say, for example, somebody from the finance department. Because this purchase manager is hearing, like how marketing is moving more towards revenue marketing and we are going closer to sales. Finance is also coming closer to these departments. Finance is also asking questions, why are you buying from this company? Why not from that company? Right? So today, I have to satisfy a buyer group which is pretty large within that sub-segment.
Correct.
So when I am targeting campaigns, when I am doing ICP campaigns to this particular group of people, I have to be very sure that I send a signal which is unanimous. So that way the buyer intent is also getting, the buyer intent is getting swung and the friction is getting reduced. So we are reducing this noise of a finance guy coming and saying, why are you buying from this company? He has an answer. He's coming and buying from us because we give quality products. Yes, we may be expensive, less, whatever it is, but these guys are talking the language of my problem statement within the company. So we are talking to various buyer groups within a particular company. So earlier it never used to be like that. We used to target the purchase manager, and then that's the reason why the sales cycle is also pretty large.
Correct.
When this buyer friction comes down, the cycle also comes down. And that's what we are trying to do. I'm not saying cycle comes down drastically, but somewhere it is getting swung. And we're doing multiple things to sort of reduce this buyer friction. We are doing offline activities, we're doing online activities, we're bringing them into one forum. We are targeting them digitally, so the options are a lot more when it comes to
Got it.
this space actually.
Yeah, and in fact, my next question also was to you was that is it reducing the sales cycle, and that's what you're saying it is. Obviously, it will not be drastic because these are different kind of products and it requires that kind of time to take a decision. But if it can reduce by even 1 month, that's a big win actually.
Exactly.
From a
In fact, interestingly, what we do is a little different. For the India market, our sales cycle is somewhere between 4 to 6 months. So we pace all our campaigns in the first half of the year. So all our important campaigns are in the first half of the year. And then we do feeder campaigns towards the second half, which is influencing them during the sales cycle.
Got it.
So they come into the sales net.
Okay, so your H2 is where the purchases happen.
Yes.
So H1 is where you start.
So there is a lot of sprint which happens in the first half, and then we influence them in a very different way in the second half. So sales cycle is becoming very, very important for marketing right now because we cannot ignore the sales cycle. I cannot do a very strong intent campaign in the month of October, November, because I will realize a good lead from there I would realize only in the next year's budget.
Correct.
I won't do it this year. If I'm spending $100 now, I want to see $1,000 this year itself. I don't want to. Of course, I'll build a pipeline for next year as well. But that we do it in a very different way. So that's where the sales cycle play comes into picture from a marketing point of view.
Got it. So revenue marketing, as you mentioned, it's also kind of going towards a little bit of sales also. We're doing all of that together. So that's a end-to-end kind of a thing. But it's just a thought. Brand marketing, when we used to do, it's about creating the brand's vision, its emotions, and all of that. Okay, by doing revenue marketing, are you not kind of risking the role of a brand here? Do you think that's something that is happening, or it's not in an industrial case?
No, I would not say that because for me to have a very good revenue marketing strategy, I need to have a very strong brand.
Right.
So hence the brand marketing is equally important. I need to take efforts to sort of strengthen the brand marketing because I can create a landing page which looks fantastic and then put 1,000 things over there.
Correct.
Say and browbeat about our products and services. But if the buyer is not having confidence in my brand,
correct,
that revenue marketing effort is going to go down the drain.
Correct.
So brand marketing is equally important. We need to do efforts towards brand marketing, but a smart thing to do is your revenue marketing strategy should be in such a way that
it is in sync with the brand marketing.
So we are intertwined between each other, and we do campaigns that complements revenue marketing, right? Or what revenue marketing does sometimes complements brand marketing also, but we cannot negate brand marketing at this point in time.
Correct. So it's basically they're complementing each other, and they need to work together to ensure that the brand is also there. And obviously if the brand's trust is high, it always helps in other things. It drives that
correct
understanding. Great. Okay, so now we've understood that. We've understood how revenue marketing is obviously leading to this entire risk reduction or probably friction reduction. So now let's come into the next thing, which is a very I would say something every marketer talks about. Okay, where they're obsessed with MQLs. Okay, everybody is obsessed with MQLs. Okay, and probably all marketers think is that that's the most or is the one that I can measure properly, because I'm obviously not looking at revenue influence or anything, but MQL means that my marketing campaign has been successful. But now that is probably shifting. Okay, MQLs are not the right thing, but it's about market influence. So your thoughts on that, and how does this work now? And where have you seen from your perspective? Where have you seen from the measurement side? How is it moving there?
I still feel MQLs are relevant. But having said that, our KPIs are not driven by MQLs. but we still have MQLs on the dashboard.
It is always there, yeah. It will.
But our KPIs are more towards SALs or SQLs and pipeline, the pipeline opportunity creation, right? But MQLs are very important because that gives you, for us, that gives the signal as to we are targeting within the ICPs which we know, we are targeting the right kind of people. We are pushing the right kind of problem statement. We are talking the language of our customers. Now we work on a lot of CPL campaigns. Now what happens to us is, especially in industrial marketing, is our ICPs are pretty defined.
Correct.
Right? Now when we are doing an CPL campaign, now we cannot do a blind CPL campaign.
No.
We need to sort of strategize that along with band, and then do a campaign, and even then we need to ascertain whether that lead will lead us to a business. That's where MQL is a big play for us. We do a filtration at that point in time. So to answer you, MQL is still a very, very important aspect, but the focus is shifting a lot towards the SQLs and the opportunity. And the way I look at it, I think SQL is also not going to be focused in the next 2 to 3 years.
Yeah,
it's going to be opportunities.
Yeah, it will be opportunity.
But this is required to get to opportunities. So MQL is becoming more of a vanity metrics for us right now. I mean, we're not, and it's similar to what happens in the top of the funnel. I'm not intently looking at, whether my awareness quotient has gone up.
Correct.
What I'm looking at is my engagement metrics gone up? Am I getting quality MQLs where the time spent by my marketing team members is less? We're not doing some spray and pray, get some large chunk of MQLs and then filtering from there. What MQLs we get, 90% of them converts, 80% of them converts into SALs. So that's the velocity with which we work.
Okay.
For us to get to this 80%, our targeting has to be super good.
Okay.
That is determined through the MQLs and whether they are sharp and whether they're in the right track.
That's a good point that you mentioned, that and probably that's incredible work that you've done is 70% of your MQLs are converting into sales. I think that's a very, very large percentage. Generally it will not be at that stage in most of the cases, because when you run campaigns where you're looking for MQLs, a lot of them are junk. A lot of them are probably not going to, because they might have just downloaded a brochure, but doesn't mean that they're interested. So while it might become an MQL, so I think the definition of MQL also needs to be something refined and
absolutely
to decide, and therefore obviously ICPs are an important thing. Okay. Now on this point, I wanted to ask you a quick rapid fire kind of a question. If you are given a chance from your industrial sector perspective, what would you choose? Trade shows versus digital influence?
At this point in time, I wouldn't say trade shows, but offline activities.
Okay.
Because we curate our own offline activities. I wouldn't choose trade shows as a single source.
Okay.
Because trade shows are just for brand awareness.
Okay.
But offline activities, we do a lot of different offline activities. We do a lot of customer-centric offline activities. We do customer conclave. In fact, we do...
Those are your events, own events?
Our own events, where we bring in customers. And the beautiful thing, I think probably, I don't know, many of them would not know about industrial marketing. But the interesting thing about industrial marketing is when you get a customer into a face-to-face event, the immediate thing which they do is try to hunt them down to close a deal. Okay.
Right.
But what we do is a little different. We don't talk sales. We don't talk sales in some of these events. It is just about the industry which they are operating into.
Right.
The problems which is being faced in that industry. We try to bring in industry bodies. We try to bring in at some point government. We try to bring in policymakers, thought leaders in this space, and try to be the bridge between these guys, which is the customers, and the policymakers and the industry bodies, etc.
Got it.
So what happens is we are swinging the customer sentiment that we are thought leaders and we are not just selling you something. We are here to solve the problem along with you, right? Now that is working out quite well for us. So that's the reason why I would say in my space currently it's more offline. But what we do is once we do this, we need to follow through with a proper nurture journey.
Right.
That's where digital comes into.
Got it.
So ours is a more of a 60-40 proportion. 60% offline activities, 40% online activities. Do we want to move towards the 75-25? I don't know at this point in time. I'm happy in this space.
Correct.
Right? Because I operate in a geography which is very complex, which is very human touch. You know, they want to see things, believe somebody telling. So I would say, we are 60-40 more offline than digital.
But that's also a good number to be. I'm sure it would have been, say, 95-5 some years back. Because for industrial marketing and all events, whether it is own events or trade shows, that used to be the bread and butter, and all the sales used to happen there.
Yeah, exactly.
So 60-40 is a good number, and I think the 40% of nurturing and all of that is also important. Yeah, great.
And that's also because just last point. That's also because of the buyer sentiment.
Yeah, they
buyers
want
are
it.
very sharp, shrewd. They not just physically see the product. They also go and research. They go deeper into the product. They analyze competitions. They ask us tough questions. Why are you like this? Your competition is doing this, etc. They're well read. So we are working with a very smart set of people.
Yes, absolutely.
And unlike tech marketing, industrial marketing, you get to see these people. So you have to be well prepared when you see those people, because they'll ask you tough questions, and you have one chance, and if you flinch in that one chance, they're going to move to another competitor. So it's very difficult.
Yeah, that's a good point, and also it's important to ensure that while the buyer is smarter, you have to be like at least one step ahead of them.
Yes.
And that's how you can build that. Great. Okay, so so the next point that I want to discuss or probably bring towards you is that mostly I have seen and especially when I was working in my previous organization also, what I was also seeing is that most of our campaigns are kind of are done at a campaign level. I'll just do one spurt, go away, one spurt and go away. Okay, we've never and industrial brands have never focused on being always on.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's been a problem with that. When there is a trade show, I'll do some activity and just talk about it and therefore move out after that.
Yes.
And I'm very, very focused on product campaigns and things like that. But what lately is happening probably is that this whole always on thinking is also starting to come, because always on does not mean that you're spending a lot of money on advertisement and all, but it is all about being there when your consumer is looking for you. So your thoughts on that, and how do you think brands are actually now looking into this entire always on angle? Because I tried doing that a lot. I'm not very successful. It's difficult to understand, because people think when you are always on, you have to spend a lot of money. It's not that.
It's not that. You find many ways, but interestingly, I was reading about buying pattern, right? It's only 5% of I'm talking about industrial buyers. It's probably 5% of buyers who are always constantly buying. Immediately, right? 95% of the buyers are like cheetahs sitting on in between the grass, and they are trying to scan the market, read the research, and identify what product is going to be good or bad for them. Right? Now, to satisfy those 95% chunk of people, you need to have an always-on strategy.
Right.
Now, but always on is sometimes comes under the top of the funnel, which is on the awareness side, which is sometimes bleeding money, right? Now, how can you combine that with revenue marketing? Now, what we do differently is, even to that 95% of people, we try to engage them throughout the year in multiple ways, be it offline or online. Offline, we bring them to our forums. We do technical seminars for them, so they know there is a brand called Grundfos who does XYZ. But one thing which we consciously do, and the customer doesn't know we consciously do, is we talk about one particular solution, not a product. We take a very solutioning approach.
Right.
So we do offline activities, we do webinars, and then we send them emails. We bring them into our CPL net. We bring them into our SEM net. You know, we do a lot of search engine marketing activities where we push them curated content. We send them, you know, white papers. So that's how always on approach we take. It's not something like we put money on. We don't work on Meta because I'm from the industries division. My ICP is not much on Metaverse, but primarily on LinkedIn and also Google. We don't do some blind campaign saying, you know, this is our pump, this is our solution, etc. We talk about problem statements because we do surveys with customers.
Correct.
So
Yeah,
what
after
happens
they buy it, you have to do servicing now.
Correct.
Yeah.
No, surveys. We do surveys saying
Okay.
what is your. So we do BANT.
Ah.
So we do try and ask them what is the problem. So whenever they come to our net,
Okay.
they don't go out without answering, you know, 2 questions,
Got it.
which is is your pump failing now or something like that, right? Are you is your energy bleeding, etc., etc. Then we have some hook and then we follow through with some content. It's a very content heavy marketing which we do, which is always on. So the difference is we don't do a spray and pray kind of an always on. This is also an intended revenue marketing always on for this 95% of the people. So what happens is when we do something like this, the 5% also comes under this net sometimes, and they see this content which is played to them, and they immediately go and buy, right?
Got it.
I'll link it to the first answer which I said. This brings down the sales cycle significantly.
Correct.
So many are not understanding this aspect as to why it should be always on. I strongly believe always on should be again clubbed with revenue marketing, because then the way you tell a story is completely different in multiple parts.
Correct.
So
And it will probably also help also, because if for example you are always on and you're talking about problem statements and all of that, and then in a particular time you have a product which is solving that problem.
Yeah.
And when you talk about that product, people will immediately relate to it because
Yeah.
they have been already engaged with you from a problem statement perspective, and
Yeah.
they're talking about it, they're reading about the problem statement, and then suddenly see, oh, Conference has come with a solution also.
Yeah.
So it is not like you're just forcing the solution onto them, but you've kind of prepared them over a period of time, and that really helps.
Yeah.
And obviously that will help your drive your sales cycle.
Yeah.
I think that's a great point, and the way you put it is also, I think, right, like it's very important, and therefore it's not about budget, because I think people think always on is taking away a lot of money. It's not always that.
Yeah, exactly.
You'll have to be smart enough and smart to do that.
Yeah.
How you can allocate that.
Because you're forced to attribute this money towards pipeline closure.
Correct.
You will come back to pipeline closure.
Correct.
So then what happens is the budget part becomes very insignificant,
Right.
because if you're influencing, let's say for example, if I am spending 1 million and if I am able to influence a closure of somewhere close to 10 million, that's 10x easily,
Yeah.
right? So all these noise about, always on eating a lot of money goes off if you have a very different approach towards always on, which is
Got it.
being closer to revenue marketing.
Okay, so coming to my last part of our discussion, and this I'm not going to ask you a question, but I'll just ask you to probably talk about I've just came across the article that you mentioned, right? You wrote some time back, I think in a couple of days back, right?
Yeah.
It was again about modern revenue brand marketing model.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you can probably put a little light on that, what you exactly meant there, and what are some of the key takeaways from there? It'll be great. I think great for the viewers.
I think what I wrote was modern CMOs
Yes.
should be revenue builders
Yes.
and not influencers.
Correct.
So I think what I meant by revenue builders is a culmination of whatever we spoke all this while. Primarily from moving from an influencing revenue point of view to owning the pipeline point of view. What I mean by that is somewhere CMOs or marketing leaders or even marketers need to make sales their best friend, because currently there is a lot of friction between marketing and sales. You know, like who built the cat first, right? I mean, I was in front of the customer because of my campaign, and then sales said no, but I was in front of the customer and closed the deal. Somewhere marketing and sales need to be friends and have shared KPIs, and I think that's where the world would be moving towards, and we need to brace ourselves for that, and we need to be revenue builders. And what I mean by revenue builders in a deeper sense is working with sales on building the pipeline, understanding your ICPs, and solutioning, or rather putting your campaign based on the problem statements which these ICPs are facing. And let's be very honest, some of the problem statements the ground sales is going to know that these are the problems. How much ever I do A/B testing and push some problem statements and then pound on a campaign where you know a customer is working on one particular problem statement, and if they are engaging in that campaign and I'm pounding on that, it's not going to work.
Correct.
Sales are the foot soldiers. They are going to know exactly what are the different layers of the problem statement, and marketing and sales need to work together, and hence modern marketing leaders are going to be revenue builders.
Correct.
And somewhere the line between marketing and sales is going to thin down, right? And to give you an example, we work with SDRs. I mean, it's not the other way around. SDRs don't work with us. Marketing works with SDRs. And they have a dotted line to me. And we have a catch-up every week on the kind of leads which we are pumping, and how SDRs are following up with those leads, booking a meeting or doing a demo or whatever it is, etc. What is happening is we are getting real-time input from SDR saying that, you know, we sent this particular document to this customer, but that is not resonating well with them. We need to find these signals. And how do we find the signals? If you're working very closely with sales, we cannot shy away working with sales, and hence that's what I wrote. I mean, I wrote a long
revenue builder,
revenue builders, and move away from the vanity metrics of you know, we influence revenue. That's not going to work in the next immediate next 1 year. I think already companies are asking these questions to marketing leaders as to how much revenue are you going to bring in, how much revenue are you going to, by hiring you, how much revenue is my company going to move into, right? So hence we are going to be revenue builders and own the pipeline velocity, the win rate. You know, marketing is going to own the aspect of uplifting the win rate.
Right.
So that is the game in the next 1 or 2 years.
Perfect. And if you have to, you know, suggest what is the framework a CMO should look at from a, you know, what will be the framework? You know, what are the key pillars of the framework that should have?
Oh, the most important to me, this is what I look at. I look at a few things, but I'll probably try to summarize and give a sharp answer on that. I think what framework they should look at is identifying their ICPs and having an ICP based strategy. So don't stop with just identifying ICPs. Have an ICP based strategies. Some companies would have vertical strategies, but I would go one level down and say have ICP level strategies. Any company would have 3 or 4 set of ICPs. Have my current framework is an ICP based strategy, right? And then the second framework, which I would say is marketing should work with SDRs. Have an SDR team. Don't shy away from having. I've interacted with a lot of marketing leaders. Many of them don't want to have SDRs under them because it's a very difficult task. To have and manage an SDR, you need to have a sales mindset. So I would suggest have a great ICP strategy, have a good working methodology with the SDRs, and then own the pipeline. Look at the numbers. stop shying away from looking at Excel sheets and
Right.
sit with your CFO month on month
Great.
and to see, and ask questions.
Yeah.
I think if our revenue marketing strategy is very strong, we are well within our right to ask questions to sales, saying that, I put in a lot of effort to bring this customer into our net because I did a very good ICP strategy. I worked with the SDRs. I've brought you closer to the deal. Why haven't you closed the deal?
Okay.
So they cannot give a wishy-washy answer saying, this, that. There has to be a very solid answer from sales. And you get into that questioning zone only when you have a strong framework. Maybe few other things as well. But I would suggest have an ICP-based strategy.
Good.
Work with the SDRs, own the pipeline.
Great.
I think you have a very good
I think
structure.
it's a nice structure to have. I think if people can put that together, it will be good success for everybody. Great. I think it was a great conversation, Giri, and I think thanks for sharing these insights and your perspective from an industrial marketing perspective. And industrial marketing, I think, is a difficult one. Yeah, and creating something which is really going to help the brands, I think is a great thing. So thank you so much for sharing your views. My key takes, which I would take from here is, one is obviously I really like this whole thing that as CMOs now need to be revenue builders.
Yeah.
It's not about brand building only. Brand obviously is there, but it's also about building the revenue. So that's my one thing. I really like the framework that you gave, and if that can be put together by brands, ICP-led strategy, SDRs, working with SDRs, and being accountable to the pipeline. I think that's a good take that you have, and I think from a measurement perspective, while MQLs might not be important right now, but I think it still is. MQLs and SQL are still important from a perspective that helps us in driving us to the pipeline, and we have to have that understanding in terms of how do we really nurture that and put that together, right?
Yes.
And drive that revenue for us. Great. So I think these are some of my takeaways here. I'm sure there were a lot out there. I think people would love to. And also on the and also the another key takeaway was always on.
Yeah.
And we have to be always on. And always on does not mean huge investments.
Yeah.
You have to be smart there, and you have to see what to do and how to be there, so that really helps you when you have a launch.
Yeah.
And all of that. It really brings that value for your campaign. Perfect. So any last thoughts that you would want to share with the viewers? Anything that you want to give them as an advice from a revenue marketing perspective? I know it's industrial, but in general, if you have to give any advice from a revenue marketing perspective.
Yeah, the only thing which I would say, not an advice, I'm not a big guy to give an advice, but one thing which I strongly believe in is if we are not owning the revenue, we are not creating an impact.
Right.
I think own the revenue pipeline, own that closer to your heart, and start getting closer to sales. And that's a very beautiful space to be in, because you will understand customer much deeper.
Right.
As to why they are buying. We can buy reports, pay dollars and buy reports, but nothing like facing a customer and talking to them about their problem
and understanding
and that's a clear buyer intent.
Got
So unless and until you're not owning the revenue pipeline, you are just influencing, you're not creating an impact.
Correct.
So own the revenue pipeline, create the impact, have the seat on the table. So you don't have to go and constantly give justification as to why you need XYZ budget.
Correct.
When you do that, you will get the budget.
Correct.
CFOs are pretty smart.
Correct.
They know where to pump the money. If they see good amount of return coming in from here, they will automatically give you the money.
Right.
So you don't have to go with a begging ball to them. I've felt that. I've seen that swinging in my current job as well.
Got it.
They understand investing money here is going to give us XYZ return. So
For the CFOs, it's all about show me the result, okay, or show me the money, so I can give you the money.
Exactly.
Yeah, perfect, great. Thank you so much, Giri, for those insights, and it was very good to have you here and have that conversation with you. But before you go, I wanted to pick your head on a particular thing. So you've in the summit we mentioned about B2B Marketing Association, and which we recently launched, and it's a mission for us, to get business leaders, innovators, decision makers together, and create, collaborate, and learn something on the community and give it back to the community. So that's what we're trying to do. What are your initial thoughts, and how do you think it is going to help the B2B community?
I think today's B2B community requires a forum like this.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, why would we be talking about revenue marketing?
Correct.
Otherwise, we'd be talking about brand marketing, how much we are influencing, etc. I think that's a great initiative. I think you need to make more noise about it. Have more chapters around this, and bring in not just marketing leaders, bring a lot of marketeers, because today's marketeers are hungry for that knowledge, and they always are because most of the marketeers today are Gen Zs, and Gen Zs want difference in everything.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
Now have more forums like this, not just for marketing leaders, but also level 2, level 3 as well. And it's a very great initiative. I think B2B marketing was one eye-opener for me as well, because I'm probably one of the industrial marketing guy who spoke over there.
Yes.
But I took a lot of inputs from tech marketing as well.
Yes.
Because I come from tech marketing. Yeah. So you need forums like this where they cross-leverage. You never know, somebody can pick up what we do in industrial marketing and try it out in tech marketing.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the idea.
Yeah.
That's the idea.
I experiment a lot of tech marketing strategies in industrial marketing, and surprisingly it's working pretty well, especially on the digital space. So it's a great initiative.
Okay.
I think you should pound on it, have more chapters, spread the tentacles to multiple places. I know you're doing an event in Pune.
Yes.
Do something in Hyderabad, and probably have a chapter in Chennai. I'm from Chennai, so I'm putting the Chennai plug there. So I have something in Chennai.
Yeah.
But what I mean is have a lot more of this for us.
Yes. No, absolutely. Thank you so much for those words. I think we are in line with what you have said, and we're doing a lot more, and there's a lot of discussion happening on that. Obviously, the new chapters are coming up, and we're not just going to be only doing events, but there are going to be smaller events. There are going to be a much more engagement for the community there. It's going to be a collaborative and a learning platform for everyone,
right?
And that's why we want a lot of people to actually join there, because they can share that. It's not a platform where we dictate that okay, you have to do this. No, it's not that. It's let's come and build this together. So that's the whole idea, and we're trying to do that. Great. So thank you so much, Giri, for joining us and sharing your views. And thank you for tuning into B2B Marketing Podcast. For more such conversations, join us at B2B Marketing Association, and collaborate with us, and let's build this community together.
The best B2B conversations don't just happen only on podcasts. They happen in rooms filled with industry leaders. Join the B2B Marketing Association and reserve your seat at the next B2B World Summit in your city.